What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be talking about different aspects of the friend zone and how every situation is different and it's situational. And because every person has a different situation and everyone is different slightly, you can't always apply the same approach to everything. However, there are some generalizations that you can use that may be able to help you along the way. So first off, the friend zone, if you guys don't know what that is, basically it means that you have been befriended by a girl or guy and you want something more than friendship, but he or she just wants to be friends. And this may be caused by him or her being aware of the situation and just, they don't want anything, or because they're just oblivious and they haven't really thought of you in that way. So how do you approach this situation? Well, first off, it depends on what situation you're actually in. For instance, let's say you have 10 or more girls that are fairly attractive and you wouldn't mind being more than friends with most of them. Now, this is actually a real story. It was a story on YouTube, and basically he consulted a sort of dating coach, and his recommendation was, you know what, you are in agony, you are almost depressed. How about you approach all these girls and you say, sorry, but I want to be more than friends. And sure, some of them will reject you, but maybe some of them won't. And before proposing this topic to this guy, he asked this guy, would you rather have a group of friends that have all friend zoned you, or would you rather have one or two girls that are maybe more than friends, even though you may be on worse terms than for some of those girls that rejected you once you revealed your intentions? And he decided that the latter was better. He didn't want to be in agony anymore. And first off, you don't have to end your friendship if you do that. Sometimes it gets awkward and you kind of have to. But what happened for him was that the girl he liked most ended up rejecting him. But another girl ended up accepting him and they became more than friends. And what happened was this girl that rejected him still really respected him for doing that. And in fact, garnered even more respect because he did that, and they remained friends, and it just worked out beautifully. Now he has these friends. He doesn't have that what if question in his mind for all eternity. And I think he approached a few girls with this. Like, you don't even have to keep going. As soon as you hit the first girl that you would like to be more than friends with and she reciprocates, then you can just stop there, and then the rest can be your friends. And so I think he had success with one girl, so he just settled down with one. He may have had success with more than one girl, so I don't know how that worked out. Maybe he just had two girlfriends or something like that. I don't know, but that's a true story, and it's on YouTube. Anyhow, I'll try and link that in the description if I remember to the video, if I can still find it. I may not be able to. That is one situation, but here's the thing, it may not be yours, because this guy had numerous girls that were attractive that he was already friends with. Other people have a hard time doing that. They have a hard time even making friends, and there comes that rare occasion when they have a girl that they want to be more than friends with. And the truth of the matter is, they don't have that many friends, let alone friends that are girls. In fact, the only friends that they have are girls, or those that one or two or handful of people who aren't that attractive to them. So that's a different situation, and it really depends. It splits off even more into, can you get more friends than girls if you try, or do you believe you can? Can you get more friends that are girls, and so forth? And if you really can't, then sometimes you need to take that chance and really go out there and try it out. And sometimes it depends on whether or not the girl is oblivious or the girl has made it very clear that she just wants to be friends, and she knows you've been hitting on her constantly, and she's trying to give off the hint that really I'm not interested at all. I'm trying to be very polite. I want to keep this friendship, but you are so oblivious yourself you can't notice. And sometimes it gets hard to tell the difference. And for me personally, I've watched enough dating videos and read enough advice online that I feel like for the most part you can tell to a general degree, and it's fairly easy for me, but even for me it can be very tough at times. However, if there's, you always end up in that state. I believe no matter how much of an expert you are, there will be some situations where you're having a hard time telling whether she's really not interested and she's just trying to be very nice to you, or she's just like oblivious to that situation and she hasn't considered it, or maybe she likes you too and she's trying to hide it. Because some girls will do that. Like, they will have the hugest crush on you and they will actually try their hardest to make it seem like they don't, which makes it such a mind screw up for you. I didn't want to curse there. Anyhow, so these are different situations, and personally from my experience, I feel like there comes a time when you have to go balls out, or you may never see that girl again. And those situations occur when, like, you've had the whole year and you're about to graduate from college or high school, and you have to take the plunge, or else like you'll never see this girl again, or maybe you'll see her again, or like you're good friends with her, but it's just agony, keeping this charade up, because you realize after a year of doing this you can't just keep playing it safe, because you won't be able to feel it out. But my recommendation is, if you're just meeting a girl and you feel like you have time in the future, a decent amount of time, whether it be months, semesters, or years, then you want to play it casual. You don't have to go balls to the wall, and you just want to sort of feel it out, and your human nature will kick in and you will over time be able to feel it out. For the most part, I mean, it's in our nature. It's how our parents figured it out. It's how our grandparents figured it out. I mean, you are a culmination of thousands of generations of people figuring it out, whether these two people are interested in each other or not. So if you have that time frame, I would just play it safe. Try and be their friend, nothing more, and the rest will follow. Sometimes, especially for me, a lot for me, I don't know why, it's something to do with me, I don't know, or maybe I'm just unlucky. I just have a bad sense of it sometimes. So, you know what, the semester's ending, you're about to graduate, you don't know what to do, and you still haven't figured it out. And at that point, for whatever freaking reason, you've been stuck in this situation, whether you're just stupid in the head, or the girl is just really nervous and she doesn't want you to know, even though she really does have a crush on you, or for whatever freaking reason, you have to go balls to the wall. And no, it doesn't have to be so straight up direct, but for me, I feel like I have to, because I have just a bad sense of it, and I really want to get like closure on it. So like, you can do something really balls to the wall and just be like, hey, usually you want to do it either in person or like through the phone, where you're actually talking, not through like a text or something like that. Hey, I want to be more than friends than you. I've had like a sort of crush on you. Do you feel the same way about me, or some variation of that? And it could be sort of low key if you don't want to go too balls to the wall with it, or you don't want to be too courageous. And you just want to do something. Like, if you want to be more low key, you just be like, hey, I think I like you, or just do it through text or something. I recommend you don't, but there you have it. Like, sometimes you have to do it, or there's always that what if. Now finally, here's the big thing that I want to get across if you don't get anything else out of this video, and that's the fact that sometimes it's better to have girls that are just friends. And yes, even in those situations where you don't know if they're interested and you don't want to go crazy. I learned this the hard way because what I realized is that for me, and I feel like for most average dudes, and even for like the super good looking Brad Pitt, Justin Bieber looking people, not every single girl is gonna like you. In fact, the ratio is probably really high, really, really low, like 1 in 50 or 1 in 30. Even for the extremely handsome guy, it doesn't always pan out. It could still be like 1 in 15 or so. And I don't know, maybe you're like, psh, 1 in 3 for me, 1 in 2 for me. Well, good for you. But sometimes you don't have to go that hard. Having girls as friends is a really good thing, especially for people like me who don't have that opportunity a lot when they have a lot of girls that are friends that are attractive. Having those doors open can be very helpful for you. And I found in the case, if you just keep going hard all the time and immediately when meeting them, just go direct and try and be more than friends with them, what you're going to do is blow out all these opportunities, and they're going to feel awkward, and they won't even want to be friends with you from then on, because from the get-go, whether you met them at the bar or a nightclub, or you just met them through school or a party or whatever, if you go so hard and it blows out immediately, then you don't have that, you're probably not going to end up being friends with the girl. At least for me, because I just go in this sort of awkward, bad approach way. It's sort of how I am. But I really feel like a strong foundation where you have friends that are girls and attractive, that will sort itself out. Why? Because if they're interested in you, then over time it will just happen naturally. They will express that, or you will figure it out through their very blatant body language, and from there it's very simple. You can progress to wherever you want to go, hook up, girlfriend, whatever. But on the flip side, if you go too hard, then none of these people want to be your friends, and you don't have those opportunities there, because not only having girls as friends it's very useful on a lot of fronts. First off, just having friends is something that's healthy. Second, having girls as friends, let's just say that this girl doesn't see you as more than a friend. Then you still have her as a good friend. She can help you out in school. She can be good company, and on top of that, she can introduce you to more of her friends, and maybe you can find a girlfriend one day. Think about it. Let's say you meet 5 girls and you keep them as good friends. That's all you need. Well, these girls probably know more than 5 people, so it's an endless branching tree effect that can keep multiplying exponentially to this huge amount of people that is your network, which they can introduce you to this girl and that girl and so on. And plus, just having a girl that's attractive, if you walk into any venue alone versus with an attractive girl, who cares? Even if this girl has friend-zoned you hard and you look like a total sucker to the girl because, let's be honest, this girl has made it very clear that she doesn't want to be nothing more than friends with you. The people at the venue don't know that. They see you walking in with 1 attractive girl. What about 2 attractive girls? Who cares if you're friend zone? It's just it's social proof, and on top of that, who cares? Personally, for me, it's all good and stuff, but just the fact that there's good company and attractive girls, that's awesome for me. people putting so much pressure on hooking up or having a girlfriend or whatever, or finding a girl they can be more than friends with. I mean, it's overrated. It ruins the situation. Like, all these people out there, they're just constantly crying over it, wasting hours. Why not just have a good time with these girls? I mean, it's almost just as great. And so, I mean, I can go on and on about the advantages of this. And for girl viewers, I know there's quite a few girl subscribers, which I'm actually very happy about. For you just want to flip the whole situation. It's the same exact thing for the most part, except if you walk into a venue with a lot of guys, it doesn't play exactly the same thing. However, if you walk into a venue, just bomb ass cool or with a lot of girls, you'll still look pretty darn awesome. And I guess the biggest difference between girls and guys regarding the friend zone is I feel like guys are a lot more, they're a lot more forward, and not exactly forward, but they're always on the hunt most of the time. Like, they'll probably have considered you as more than a friend most of the time. And for that reason, it just plays in the fact that you just being friends with them, it'll work smoothly on the most part, and it'll just naturally progress. But my recommendation is, if you've done this for like over a year, or you're nearing that situation where you're past May part, or you feel like it's going to end, and that what if question starts coming up, what if he liked me and I never approached, then sometimes you have to, just man up and do something about it. And from personal experience, the hard truth of the matter is you may face a lot of rejections, but that sometimes is better than the what ifs, because now you know the truth. And sometimes it's not a rejection. I'm going to end with one story, and this is an anecdote from a girl from another video I was watching. This guy has his own YouTube channel. He's a different dating coach, not the same dating coach I talked about initially in my videos. His name's Trip, and his channel is Trip's Dating Advice. In one of his recent videos, he mentions how he brought this girl along. She's like some sort of model or something, and she mentioned how in college she had the hugest crush on this one guy in class, and for the whole semester they never talked or anything until like the last day. She drops her stuff and the guy offers to help pick it up, and she just gives him like the death stare, and that's all she says, the death stare. But I that could be like anything. Like, literally she could have been like, what the fuck, how dare you even talk to me, like that sort of look. Like, from my perspective, personally, I feel like I've probably encountered something like that once or twice in my lifetime, where it's just like, oh my gosh, I didn't mean to offend you, sorry, and then I walk away when I had a crush on this girl and she just gives me this death stare. And for me personally, I feel like that girl probably didn't like me, or maybe she was just neutral, or whatever reason, but that sort of thing like can happen. So there are those situations where you think that this girl is not interested at all, but she has the hugest crush on you. Now those are those rare exceptions. I doubt it's ever happened to me, but it can happen. And like, you could be in that situation. She gives you that death stare on the last day, and you're like, oh, I don't think she's interested anyways. And she has the hugest crush on you, and she just makes it a point to play it off. I mean, a lot of girls actually make it a point to try their hardest to not show that they're interested in you. So sometimes you have to take the leap. And trust me, I've chickened out tons of times, and there have been those what if moments that you know what, you sometimes just have to move on from, because there's nothing else that can be done. However, just remember that there's always plenty of fish in the sea, and what would you do if you were 10 times bolder? That's a quote I got from this business presentation that I was viewing on YouTube. It was like a inspirational business presentation, and he asked the question, "What would you do if you're 10 times bolder?" And he said that question changed his life because he pounced on that. He was like, "If I was 10 times bolder, I would do that," and he did it. And it's hard for me. I mean, honestly, a lot of times I chicken out and I don't do it, and I never see the girl again. But occasionally I get that. I grow the balls, and I do something. And sometimes I make a good friend. Sometimes she gives me the what the fuck, how dare you rejection thing. But it's not the end of the world, and I hope you guys realize that. And that's about it. As always, like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. All those things are free, and if you subscribe, you can see my future videos for free. And I'll see you in my next video. And actually, for those of you who actually stayed until the end of this video, my loyal viewers, I want to just add in one final thing, one final tip. Let me just remember it. It's really good. I kind of forgot it. Let me just think about it real quick. Let me think. And no, I'm not going to edit this out. I just want to think about this real quick. Okay. So here's the thing. If you're a guy, more so than you're a girl, although for a girl, you can still do the same thing. I recommend that you have friends of the opposite gender, and quite a few of them, and preferably some of them that are fairly attractive. And I know I've already said this, but hear me through. This is a very important point. A lot of people don't do it or don't even bother. And granted, I understand. For girls, it can be very tough, especially if you're really attractive, because all these guys, they don't want to be friends with you. And it's really, really hard to find friends like that. So if you're a really attractive girl, I mean, that may not be a problem for you. But let's say you're not that attractive, or you're just average. But especially for a guy, whether you are an attractive guy or an unattractive guy, having friends that are attractive girls, and granted, it may be very obvious from the start that a lot of these girls may not want to be anything more than friends with you. It's something that I wish I could have done back in high school and in my past, and it's tough sometimes. Sometimes, you know what, they didn't want to be friends. You didn't have stuff in common. But there have been those rare occasions where there's these attractive girls. I couldn't tell if they're interested or not. But you know what, I didn't really go that far in being friends with them, and I felt like it was a wasted opportunity because even if nothing worked out, like, I still could have had a great time with the girl. And for me personally, and I think you'll find this, like, having a good time with a girl, like, is literally like having a girlfriend anyways. Like, if you can, like, what really is the difference between friendship and more than friendship? So it comes down to something physical, some sort of attraction there. And so, like, partially, a good portion of girlfriend or whatever you want comes from just having a great interaction, doing events and doing a lot of stuff with this girl, whether it just be like going to the movies or so forth. And like, who cares if she's friend zone you? If you're doing all this stuff with this girl, it's practically the same thing. And let's say you're that type of guy who's like, oh well, not for me. I want to hook up. I want a physical thing or something or other. On top of all the things I've already listed that are the perks of this girl being your friend, like, literally just having her in your life, on top of, like, let's say you, like, taking pictures with this girl in itself will bring value, because girls that may not have even looked at you twice will be like, this guy has a lot of Facebook pictures with a lot of attractive girls. Maybe he has a good personality. Maybe I'll give him a chance. And granted, all those girls may have friends on you, but boom, that just upped your chances. So it really opens the door. And on top of that, just being around these girls, because girls usually, for the most part, especially attractive girls, they have a lot of social sense and they have a lot of social experience. So that will rub off if you're just around them a lot, and you'll gain a lot of social experience and skill, and you'll just have a great personality, a better personality, and so forth. So that's it for the video, and granted, it's not as easy as it seems, and granted, a lot of these attractive girls, they don't want to be friends with you for whatever reason. Maybe you're forcing it, maybe you really don't have enough in common and you're forcing it a little too hard. But at least make the effort. For me, I know from experience, it can be pretty tough, and a lot of these girls, they don't have stuff that you really connect with all the time. But friendship doesn't have to be like a soulmate, best friend sort of thing. So just keep it in mind, and I hope you guys like this hour-long video. Peace.